When you feel the room, you lead the people carrying through. What We Sense by iswitchme. The alpine air was thin but invigorating as Justin and Julia stood at the summit, their cheeks flushed from the final climb. At 27, the twins were both navigating early leadership roles in very different worlds. Justin in tech project management, Julia in healthcare administration, yet both carried a similar weight. Their grandparents had invited them on this hike through the Swiss Alps, not just for the view, but as a kind of pause, a space away from deadlines, Zoom meetings, and late-night anxiety. Grandpa, with his steady gait and weathered walking stick, and Grandma, always with a thermos of something warm and a head full of stories, led the final few steps up the peak. As they reached the top, the panoramic view stole everyone's words. Snow-capped ridges stretched endlessly into the horizon. There were no emails here, no performance reviews, just silence and sky. The four of them settled on a large boulder, sipping cocoa and catching their breath. The wind brushed over them gently, whispering through the pines. Justin broke the silence. "It's strange," he said, watching a hawk glide across the valley below. "I've got this team back home, and we're delivering on our KPIs, but something feels off. The team's distant, detached. I can't figure it out." Julia exhaled slowly. "Same. Everyone's working, technically. But it's like, we're all together and alone at the same time. I feel like I'm managing robots, not humans. I thought being a leader would feel different." Grandma glanced at Grandpa, who gave a quiet nod, as if passing the baton. She turned to them with that soft, knowing smile. "That's the moment most leaders miss. The moment when they feel something's wrong, even when the numbers say everything's fine." Justin looked at her. "So, what do you do when everything looks okay but doesn't feel okay?" Grandma set her thermos down. "You sense the atmosphere, and then you act on what you sense." Julia frowned slightly. "But sensing isn't measurable. It's just a vibe." "Exactly," Grandpa said, finally speaking up. "And that's where real leadership begins. When you stop relying only on dashboards and reports and start reading the room." He pointed around them. "You feel that stillness up here? That sense of ease? No one told you to feel it. You sensed it. Just like you can sense tension in a meeting, even if no one speaks." Justin nodded slowly. "So it's like emotional radar." "Right," Grandma said. "Back when I managed a department, we were outperforming every target, but morale was sinking. People were burning out in silence. One morning I walked in and just knew something had to change." "What did you do?" Julia asked. "I paused everything, called for a reset hour. No work talk. We sat, shared what was really going on. Some cried, some laughed, but mostly, they exhaled. And that changed the tone of everything that followed." Justin raised an eyebrow. "So you just gave space?" "Space and safety," she said. "Leadership is about caring enough to read the room, and brave enough to respond. It's not soft. It's strategic." Julia looked out over the edge of the mountain, thoughtful. "I've been pushing so hard to look competent. I haven't really stopped to listen to the silence, or the sighs." Justin smirked. "Same. I've been managing productivity, not people." They sat for a while, letting the wind fill in the silence. The mountain didn't give them answers, it gave them clarity. As they began the descent, Justin turned to Julia. "Let's try something different next week." She grinned. "You mean actually lead?" "Yeah," he smiled. "With our senses, not just our schedules." And with that, they climbed down, not just lighter in step, but in spirit, ready to lead with presence, care, and the courage to tune into what others overlook. Ready for a switch? Trust your instincts in leadership. The atmosphere speaks volumes. A positive vibe creates productivity, while toxic environments can drain energy. Cultivate the right culture.